I don't think anything could have prepared me for when I saw this headline. Kanye West claims he caught Chris Paul with Kim Kardashian. What the fuck? This isn't even in my jurisdiction. What the hell? You guys probably know this by now, but if I'm making a video and TMZ talked about it, it's probably not a good situation. For those of you that are not on Twitter or have no idea what's going on, let me try to explain what happened. So Kanye West likes to go on these like rants that never end well for him and are mostly racist and overall just really messed up. Mind you, this is from someone that his favorite artist was Kanye West. Was, y'all. I said was. Now this rant had a lot of things that I cannot say because they are so messed up, but if you look it up, it won't take that long for you to find. Now, why am I talking about Kanye West on an NBA channel? Well, because the final tweet of his rant involved him saying that he caught Chris Paul with Kim Kardashian in bed. Dude, I fucking hate talking about this. Which to everyone was a very big shock when they found out this happened. Now, I know a lot of you were asking this question, as was I. Did this even happen? Now, first off, we have to consider the fact that Chris Paul is a family man, and I don't think he would cheat on his wife. However, I will say some things are lining up. For example, Devin Booker and Kendall Jenner had some relationship, and you guys know that the Jenners and Kardashians, I'm pretty sure, are like the same thing. Also, there have been like some resurfaced photos of like Chris Paul and Kim K together, even though I'm pretty sure they were at like public events. Some people are also saying this happened because of like a picture of Drake and some of his friends rocking a Chris Paul jersey. Allegedly, this happened when Drake and Kanye West were beefing, so take that for what you will. Now, if you ask me, I don't know if this happened. I don't think it did because a lot of sources came out today and said that this did not happen and it was just completely fake, which doesn't surprise me because again, I just don't see Chris Paul as the type of guy to try to go for Kim K. Alright, now let's transition to why I'm even talking about this. First of all, the thought of Kim Kardashian and Chris Paul, I don't know why, I thought that was so funny. But actually, the reason I want to talk about this was the luxurious Kardashian curse. As many of you guys know, there is one thing in the NBA that is guaranteed, and that would be the Kardashian curse. Now, what is the Kardashian curse? Well, it's pretty simple, but basically whenever a player either hooks up or dates someone a part of the Kardashian family, they start to play really bad. Sometimes this can actually end a player's career, and it's not just a bunch of random NBA players. No, these are some pretty good players. In fact, so good that we created a starting five that could probably win a lot of games and would be a championship contender. This team would include people like James Harden, Devin Booker, Kyle Kuzma, Ben Simmons, Chris Humphries for some reason, just to name a few. Now, some people have asked if the curse actually hit Devin Booker because yeah, he's been successful, but they didn't win a title, which that's up to you. But I will say Devin Booker has been going crazy ever since him and Kendall Jenner have reportedly broke up. Okay, now that I'm finally done with talking about all that stuff, I can stop sounding like TMZ. Let's talk basketball. Now, people have asked the question, did Chris Paul get affected by this? Which, I mean, he's getting old, so you could justify it to that. Also, there's really no timeline if this did happen, so I don't really know when to pinpoint this. Again, there's some alleged proof on why this could have happened and why this didn't, so I'm really not going to form an opinion. Also, I need to mention this, but Chris Paul has not played in a while. I think it's been at least a month, so I can't really say, oh, he's playing better or he's playing worse because he's been injured. Now, like I mentioned, Devin Booker did break up with Kendall Jenner, and he's been playing insane. This man had like 44, 51, and I think he has like 30 right now. So if he did have the curse, it seems like that shit is going away. Now, before I continue on with the video, if you guys are enjoying this, if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I'd very much appreciate it. I heard if you do not like this video and subscribe to the channel, you yourself will be affected by the Kardashian curse. Hey man, that's just what I heard, so I would leave a like and subscribe just in case. Also, we have a sponsor on today's video. Today's video is brought to you by Epidemic Sound. Non-copyright music is one of the essentials to being a YouTuber, and it is very hard to find the right songs to use in your videos. However, Epidemic Sound is here to help you. With over 35,000 songs and 90,000 sound effects filtered by different moods and genres and tempos, Epidemic Sound is the perfect place to find music for your videos. I wouldn't be sponsoring something if I didn't actually stand by them, and I've been using Epidemic Sound for the longest time. Shout out to Catherine Manning. I actually found Epidemic Sound through her, and now I want to put you guys on. If you guys use the link in the description below or in my pinned comment, you guys will get a free 30-day trial. Thank you to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video. Now, I want to go back to Chris Paul because Because while I'm not exactly sure if the Kardashian curse is the reason why he's been playing bad, Chris Paul, when he last played, wasn't exactly the best. This season, Chris Paul is averaging 9 and 9 on 37% shooting from the field, which would easily be the worst season he's ever played in the NBA. I never thought we would live in a world where Cam Payne is outperforming Chris Paul, because Cam Payne is averaging 13 and 5 on 43% shooting. Plus, it just takes one Suns game to look at the two and say, yeah, Cam Payne is playing better. Now, yes, Cam Payne has played double the games Chris Paul has, but I'm still going off that 10-game sample size that Chris Paul had. Because if I'm being honest, I didn't really see any of his averages going up. Plus, when I watched Chris Paul, I saw him as a liability multiple times on the offensive side. Now look, I know Chris Paul brings a different value than most point guards his age does. Chris Paul is not going to average you like 20 and 15 anymore. However, he can average you like 15 and 10 on pretty efficient shooting. However, he's averaging 10 and 10 and he's not shooting the ball well at all. Plus, you gotta look on the defensive side, he's a liability. The old Chris Paul was not that. He made up for his lack of being a #1 scorer and being able to be the second option but be clutch. Now it seems like his age is finally starting to play a factor, because at the end of the day, Kardashian curse or not, Chris Paul is becoming old. The only way I see him playing better is if they replace him with Cliff Paul.
What's up, family?
Uncle Cliff!
Yeah, I don't see that going well, to be honest. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say, oh, but Chris Paul hasn't played in forever, and we've already established that. And this isn't just a, oh, this has happened this season and this season only. This has been happening for a while. Chris Paul has slowly gotten worse over these past couple years. Now, maybe there's hope for Chris Paul, because one, he's gonna come back from injury, so he's gonna be pretty fresh. Two, he has a lot to prove now, because a lot of people are saying he's washed up, which, yeah, I could justify you saying that. Now, he's currently dealing with a heel injury, and he hasn't played in about a month, so I'm not sure when he's coming back. I would like to imagine he comes back before the Christmas game. I think that'd be pretty cool, but I've looked for updates and I really don't see anything. Now, there's something that's kind of interesting about Chris Paul not playing. I remember a lot of people said that the Suns were finally good because of Paul and they couldn't win without him. I remember people said Devin Booker would only be good with Chris Paul, yet Devin Booker is playing like the MVP right now, and the Suns are the #1 team in the Western Conference. All of this is being done without Chris Paul. In fact, I'd argue they're playing better without him. I think he's in a situation where he doesn't need to rush coming back from injury, and instead he should just take his time, because the last thing Chris Paul needs is another headline on him. Also, I don't know if this is the Kardashian curse or if this is the Chris Paul curse, and the Suns are playing better without him, so maybe that's correlating. Actually, I don't know. I think the Chris Paul curse is actually something that happens in the playoffs. Now, I'm not good at math, but two curses at the same time and you being old and your team doing better without you doesn't add up well, especially because the last thing that Chris Paul needs to cement his legacy is a title. Devin Booker is only getting better. The Suns are only getting better. Unfortunately, Chris Paul is not getting better, and the Suns are at that stage right now where it seems like each year they're going to be fighting for a title, and eventually one of those years they have to win. But will Chris Paul be around to finally win a title for the first time in his career? I guess we'll have to find out.